So I just noticed in my chat. A first time messenger. That dude said, "I'm knocked loose." Said that CatNate picture will haunt me forever. Cheers. Listen, if you're still watching right now, let me tell you, I got two stories for you on that picture. Number one, that suit came to be when I bought my first house back when I was married. I do, but I'll get to two. I'm going to give you are the two best ones. The first one is that suit came into being because I was going to do a Halloween costume party for my housewarming party. Invited a bunch of friends. I used to run a website called yearandbeer.net. I ran it for 4 years. It was to document my beer drinking adventures. It had a beer counter. That was the premise for the site. On that site, we did a web poll. What superhero should Nate be for the Halloween costume party? And I put, Superman, Batman, blah, 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 blah. I put Catwoman as a joke. It won the vote in a landslide. So I spent like $275 on a custom fit PVC skin tight, one piece, glove attached, hood attached, double zipper in the back, which I got a padlock that I could lock the zippers together, had like a BDSM style collar, had thigh high 6-inch platform heels that went with it, a big long whip. It was the greatest thing ever. Like I took that thing to bars. I took it everywhere. And it was an absolute hit everywhere it went. Here's the best story. If you're still watching, I don't know if you are. And if I'm telling this to a bunch of people that have already heard it, I apologize. I went on a Comic-Con. It's technically Wizards World in Chicago in the McCormick Place. One year, it was a Sunday. It was the last day of the Comic-Con. I brought that costume with me. Now I had worn that costume to Comic-Con one time previously, and I went with a group of people, and literally I couldn't go 10 steps in there before a family or a person or someone would stop me and have to take a picture with me because, big bellied, bearded dude wearing this ridiculous BDSM style Catwoman costume really stood out. And, I was covered, so it wasn't like it was lewd per se, but it was a little on the lewd side because, again, skin tight. Anyways, I go up there on this Sunday. I didn't wear the costume there because I drove myself. And so when I got there, I brought it with, though. And when I got there, I decided in my Ford Explorer to change into it. Walked in across, like, I had to go down a street wearing, again, 6-inch platform heels, down like a half a block road in the 90-degree heat in the sun, then across the road and then into the convention. I get into the convention. I've only been in the convention maybe 15 minutes, and I'm stopped by a family and they're taking pictures, and I get a tap on my shoulder from behind. It says, "Hey." And so I kind of like half glance behind me like, "Hey, can't you see they're taking pictures? Wait a second." And so I turn back to the family and they're kind of looking at me like kind of stunned. I get a more firm tap now on my shoulder. It says, "Hey, turn around. This is better. I promise." I turned around and there stood the Stan Lee. He stuck his hand out and he said, "That's a mighty bold look you got there, son," and shook my hand. And I'm like looking at him like, "Thank you." Like I had no idea what to even say. And because it had been so hot and the gloves were attached, sweat had pooled in my hands on the way walking in. So my hand was sweat drenched when I shook the hand of Stan Lee, the creator of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. For real, he stopped me, and it was his bodyguards that were tapping me on the shoulder. They were batting down every camera. I looked everywhere. Every video I could find from that Comic-Con, I looked. Nobody got a picture of it. So basically, the only people that know that even happened are the family that I was taking pictures with at that time. And if they got a picture, I think that it was confiscated, or I'm pretty sure the bodyguard stopped every picture from being taken. And myself and Stan Lee, who is now dead, and he died. Oh, and by the way, he was there. He was walking up another 100 feet to the booth where he was going in and charging $500 for a picture and a meet and greet. They shake his hand and a picture. He stopped me in that Catwoman costume. Yep. So and listen, for doing that, I got to meet Stan Lee in person and shake his hand while he was still alive, obviously. And again, you can choose to believe me or not believe me, but I don't know why a person would make up a story like that, especially in that costume. And so that's why that costume is the legendary CatNate costume. Yep. Stan Lee. It was so worth it. And I had so much fun in that costume. I remember one time I was out at a bar with a buddy, and this girl come running up to me, run up from across the bar, a really good looking girl too, come running up to me across the bar. She said, can I just touch it? I just need to touch it. And I had no idea. I'm just like, yes. So she reaches out and she touches my belly. She's like, I just had to see if that was real. She thought I had a fake belly. Here I'm thinking she's going to touch anything but my belly. Nope, had to touch my belly. From across the bar, man, came across, had to touch the belly. So I just had to see if that was real. I'm like, yes, it is, ma'am. It sure is. Those and she was there with a girlfriend later on in the night when they were doing the costume contest, which I ended up winning almost every costume contest I ever entered in that thing. So it more than paid for itself. Those two girls ended up having me up on stage when they were being judged and literally had me down on all fours spanking my ass in that costume in a bar for real. That also happened.
Oh my God.
We did one year. I went to one year in that costume. I went to a scavenger hunt in a small town in the, like southern suburb, the deep southern suburbs of Chicago. And it was a scavenger hunt where we had to go into a bowling alley. We had to go into a bar and retrieve an item. We had to go into a grocery store and purchase specific items. And then the eventual turn in was at the mayor's home, where the mayor was the judge of the Halloween costume contest. And the best part was it was like this 80-year-old lady, and she called me Batman. That is the fucking.
Maybe you misheard it. It was Batman.
No, it was Batman, and it was just the funniest damn thing because, like, I mean, I can understand it. It was all black, you know. He had the pointy ears, but yeah, that was the sexiest Batman you ever seen. The sexiest ish Batman you ever seen in your life. Yeah, just too funny, man. I had a lot of fun. See, it's a good luck to rub the Buddha's belly. That's what she was probably thinking that night. She's like, yeah, that'll get me some good luck. Oh my goodness, yeah. So it's funny that you brought that up because one of these days, I maybe I will. Maybe I'll clip that story tonight and put it on my YouTube.
That would make for a fantastic one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would actually. Good. I didn't have the AFK cam up because you kind of need to see my hand gestures for that. I will write down the time and I'll clip that shit.
Yeah, make sure to make a good thumbnail for it. Maybe literally take the picture.
I don't have that costume anymore. It's lost to time. I had to throw it away some time ago. It was so stretched out and ripped up from the years of. Listen, it got good use, and I guarantee you, I made more money by far than I ever spent on that costume. I don't even have the boots anymore, unfortunately. The boots.
Just take the picture from your thumbnail.
Oh yeah, no, I have it right there. I can actually use that for the thumbnail for that clip.
Yeah,
100%. Yep, I can definitely do that. I think that'll make for a great clip. When I was letting the water heat up over here, I have a new policy: no walking away from the sink while the water is running, because I have now flooded my kitchen twice by doing that. The first time was real bad. Like, I flooded it real bad. The most recent time, I started the sink full of dishes. This is about a week ago or so. I started the sink full of dishes, and then while the sink was running, I decided to vacuum, which was loud, and didn't realize that I had left the sink running until I finished vacuuming and looked over, and the water was running off the counter. Like, God bless America. How stupid are you? The answer was pretty stupid. Yeah, it's actually funny. I'll clip it right from the moment where I first noticed that comment. Of all the costumes I've done over the years, that one was absolutely by far the most epic and the most memorable. And I don't think that I can ever top that. Not even if I was to recreate that, I don't think it would top the original. Just because of how shocking it was. At this point now, everybody would just expect it from me.